What up, what up, what up, football fans? Welcome to another episode of the Blitz. I'm your host, Big C, and you know the co-host, Michael Jones. What up, Mike?
What up, man? What's good? Happy to be here. Episode 47 of the Blitz. How's everyone doing? Please remember to like, share, subscribe, comment. Feel free to hop in the chat. Links are up in the chat. Man, how about these games, Big C? We had some unexpected play this weekend, some triumphs as well as some heartbreak. Just an amazing set of games, man. What did you think?
Oh, man, you don't even want to know what I think. What up, Raphael? You know what it is. Fins all day, every day, baby. Man, there was some unexpected results this weekend. I ain't gonna lie. A couple things really took me aback, and a couple things I wasn't too happy about. But another great weekend of football. That's what counts, and that's the beautiful thing about the NFL, that any team has a shot. If you get to the dance, you got a shot, and even if you're the underdog and a crazy underdog, you still have that shot. And if you can put a couple good games together, you can be in the show, and that's the beautiful thing. That's what I love about it. And let's get into it. Let's do some reviews of these games.
Wow, man, right to it. I mean, you might as well. Where do you want to start?
I mean, we'll start with the Texans and the Chiefs. Joe Mixon ended up playing, which when we did our last video, we thought that he was going to be a no-go.
Yep.
He played fairly well. These Texans played well. A lot of people are going to say, point to things with the refs and the Chiefs, like there's some conspiracy going on. I mean, I don't see it. Patrick Mahomes does get on my nerves with the crybaby shit, though. I ain't gonna lie. Like, he doesn't need to do that. He's such a great player. He don't need to do it. I just feel like it brings him down as a player. People look poorly upon him when he's always boo-hooing to the ref or trying to do some extra snaky shit, like stopping right before he gets to the out of bounds so the player hits him and he can get a cheap flag. Bro, you don't need to do that. And if he would cut that out, I think people would respect him that much more. But he looks for any advantage he can get, and I mean, he plays inside the rules. No, I know a lot of people were complaining about the even Troy Aikman when he was doing the game. The two Texans players collided, and they called the unnecessary roughness, personal foul, because it looked like he took a hit to the head. And I mean, technically, he took some arms to the head and stuff, but that play happened so fast. You know what I mean? It happened so fast. How can you know what I mean? It looks like he got hit like that.
Yeah, but that's what these people are making a big deal of. It's not so much that's happening. It's that he's bouncing around, and then these quarterbacks, like, they can sit down or do this shit whenever they want to do it. And it's like, it makes it very hard on a defender. Do I hit this guy? Do I not hit this guy? I mean, I think I
agree with that. I agree.
That's more of a problem. As for Patrick Mahomes, yeah, I like Patrick Mahomes too, but that crybaby bullshit, I don't like that shit either. That drives me absolutely insane. You don't have to be like that. It's it's like flopping. I can't stand it when people flop. I just play.
Well, that's absolutely what it is, flopping. I mean, that's what he's doing. And you're right. Once these quarterbacks become runners, that whole protecting the quarterback thing needs to go out the window.
Yep.
If you engage in running the football, you need to be treated like any other player.
As soon as you cross that line,
as soon as you become a non-quarterback and you're progressing the ball downfield, I feel like you should be treated like any other player. You can't continue to protect the quarterback, because I've seen plays where they fake going down, and the defender slows up and then they take off again. Like, how's that fair?
No.
I mean, you already protect these guys so much. if they decide to run the football, they need to be able to get hit just like anybody else. So I'm with you on that. But I don't think the refs are the reason that the Chiefs are winning games. Travis Kelce had a wonderful game, man. He's been kind of quiet this year. He's such a beast at playoff time. He's either number 1 and 2 in all major receiving categories all time in playoff history. If he's not number 1, he's right behind Jerry Rice. Mm-hmm. Man, this guy is one of the top 1 or 2 tight ends of all time. I'm going to say he's the greatest tight end of all time. I mean, I think he's got like 7 straight Pro Bowls, over 1,000 catches. He's remarkable. And this Chiefs team, I mean, Travis Kelce isn't the same player he once was. I mean, a couple of them passes that he caught this weekend, the old Travis would have took those to the house.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, he can't quite run like he used to. But one thing Travis Kelce is, he can get open. He knows how to get open, and that's what makes him so dangerous. CJ Stroud, he didn't have a bad game, but I won't say he necessarily had a good game neither. I mean, just a you know what I mean? Game. Yeah, 19 for 28 for 245 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. Just, I mean, you didn't turn the ball over, which is good, but you didn't put no points on the board neither.
Right.
Joe Mixon, 18 rushes, 88 yards, 4.9 a carry, a touchdown for someone that was likely not to play.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he was more than questionable. At one point, I think he was doubtful. Like, we had talked like he was not playing.
Yeah,
because that's what I heard through the media. So for him to come out and have 18 touches for 88 yards and a touchdown, that's phenomenal. CJ Stroud, 6 carries, 42 yards. So CJ did some stuff with his legs. Nico Collins, he's a great up and coming receiver. 5 catches, 81 yards. Schultz is one of the better tight ends in the league. 4 catches, 63 yards. This team played good. They hung around. And at one point, I thought that they were going to win the game. I really did. I thought the Chiefs were in trouble, but like I've been saying all year, these Chiefs they're tough to beat, man. They're tough to beat.
They find
Patrick Mahomes has more playoff wins than a lot of franchises do.
Yeah.
Think about that. In the few years that Patrick Mahomes has played this game, he has more playoff wins than a lot of franchises. I think it's like 7 or 8 franchises. That's absolutely insane.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It's insane. I mean, he didn't have his greatest game. He was 16 to 25, 177 and a touchdown. But he did the things he needed to do when they needed him done. When they needed a score, he took them down the field and scored.
It's true.
Kareem Hunt, 8 carries, 44 yards and a touchdown, 5.5 yards a carry. The Texans stopped their running game. They slowed down the running game. This was really a defensive battle in my eyes. Travis Kelce, though, 7 catches, 117 yards and a touchdown. Just absolutely phenomenal. But they got after the quarterback, especially down towards the red zone.
Mm-hmm.
They one play, CJ Stroud was running out of bounds and he kind of tweaked his ankle. I feel like that limited him for the rest of the game. He wasn't able to move around quite like he wanted to. How many sacks did they end up having? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, they have 8 sacks on them. I mean, CJ Stroud definitely sat back there and took a beating. They just couldn't put it together. And the Chiefs are back to the AFC Championship game, and they're waiting on their opponents at that point. What can you say about this team?
The Chiefs?
What can you say about them? Are they the great? Are they the greatest dynasty this league's ever seen? I mean, they're going for 3 straight.
I mean, it's crazy. They're definitely something that you don't sit there and take lightly. I mean, I didn't. I don't know. You try to say it's a lot of luck, a lot of stuff, but maybe it's just they do the right things.
I mean, they definitely do have.
I mean, they got some luck built in there, but it's like I don't know. It just seems like they do all the right things. Like Patrick Mahomes, his diving toss to Kelsey. I mean, that was freaking insanity. Like it was a great play. I was like, oh, he's just throwing this up there, and then all of a sudden, he's dude just sitting there wide open. Like I don't know. What can I say? I talk a lot of smack about them because it irritates me how good they are. So they're a good team. I mean, either way, no matter who's coming to play them, no matter who has to play them at any given moment, you just never know. You just never know with this team. And that's what makes them dangerous. And nine times out of 10, they come out on top. So
they got they got a lot on the line here. They are on the cusp of history. No team has won 3 Super Bowls in a row. In this day and age of free agency and players jumping ship and going to somewhere else and the salary cap, it's hard to keep a contending team together.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's only been a handful of teams that have repeated, let alone none that have three-peated. If this team three-peats, where do you put them on that? Do you put them as the greatest team of all time?
They got to be. I mean, what else can you say? I mean, 3 in a row, only team to do it. How can you not? How can you not? Especially like you said, as hard as it usually these teams win a Super Bowl and they keep majority of their main players together, but every so often they got to get rid of guys and new guys come in. Like this Chiefs team ain't the same team from 2 or 3 years ago. You know what I mean? So it's definitely hard to maintain that year after year. And I mean, they could get this third one. Like I won't deny that anymore. They're definitely a factor and they know how to win. And Patrick Mahomes and Kelsey just work good together and they're the champs. Until they're not.
Are they the greatest combo receiver quarterback combo in NFL history? I mean, you got Joe Montana, Steve Young, Jerry Rice. I guess you could throw Devontae Adams and Aaron Rodgers. I mean, I think you almost, if they win this championship, you got to give that to them too.
Yeah,
I feel like you got to give that to them too.
It's definitely in the top 3 anyway. I mean, it's amazing. It's just 3 in a row. It might be right here. It might be right here because obviously my thoughts and decisions don't matter. I thought Detroit was going to do something, and look at that. So
hold on, you're getting a hold of yourself.
I know.
7 straight AFC Championship games for this Chiefs team. You know, the Buffalo Bills back in the day went to 4 straight Super Bowls, which is very impressive. Very impressive. And I remember Andy Reid took the Eagles to 4 straight NFC Championship games, and that was impressive. 7 straight. 7 straight.
Yeah,
that's amazing. Amazing.
Man, wouldn't you like to be on the side of that fan base if you were? I wish you could be that kind of fan for your team right now,
man. You know, say you are a Chiefs fan from back in the day. I mean, do people respect you and believe that you were a Chiefs fan before all this? You know what I mean?
Right.
Or they try to call you out, oh, you're only a Chiefs fan because, you know what I mean?
They start winning.
I think I'd get very upset with being accused of that.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But I mean, it's going to happen to any fan. Your team starts winning. They're going, oh, you was only a fan because, you know what I mean? But
yeah. Haters. Yeah.
Saturday's other game, man, seen the Washington Commanders take on the Detroit Lions. This one blew my freaking mind. Now, I had some midget wrestling to attend to, so I wasn't able to view the whole game. But I was doing constant game checks, and I just couldn't believe the score. I couldn't believe the score. I was actually at the wrestling event with a Commanders fan, which his wife had already made him promise to take her out. I was like, bro, what are you doing here? Like your team's on TV right now. You know, he's like, I know. And he was dressed, had the tone commander gear. I was like, bro, you take that fight.
Yeah, right.
You take that fight. You lose out on that midget ticket prices and you go home. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, for real.
bro, and your team's beating the best team in football.
Yep.
Go home. What are you
Yep.
doing here?
What are you doing, man? I would not be missing my game for
Yeah,
anything.
like he was tripping.
Oh,
But man, I kept checking on the score and I was like, all right, the Lions will get them. The Lions will get them. The Lions will get them.
right.
Yo, this kid, Jaden Daniels, is the truth. We talk about the greatest of all time, greatest tight end of all time, greatest postseason receiver of all time, greatest team of all time. Is Jaden Daniels the greatest rookie of all time?
For sure.
Is he the greatest rookie of all time?
For sure. How can you not? I don't know, man. What 5 other people started in the conference championship game, rookies, but none of them won. So if he wins, I think that solidifies him as the greatest rookie of all time, hands down, for sure. Quarterback.
He has uplifted this Washington Commanders team to a limit that nobody. If you said that Washington was going to be in the NFC Championship game at the beginning of the season, nobody would believe you. Nobody.
Nope.
I don't even believe people thought that this team was a playoff team. And now they're a game away from the Super Bowl.
And they look dangerous.
This offense was unstoppable on Saturday. The Lions had no answer. None. Zero. Zilch. Jaden Daniels, 22 of 31, 299 yards, 2 scores. Another 16 for 51 on the ground. Robinson had the running game going, 15 carries, 77 yards, 2 touchdowns. Nichols added another rushing touchdown. McLaurin, 4 catches, 87 yards. The ageless one, Austin Eckler, 4 catches for 41 yards. Zach Ertz. Zach Ertz is a dog for this team. Zach Ertz has been a good tight end in this league for a long time. And he continues to get the job done. 5 catches, 28 yards, and a touchdown. And he had a key onside kick recovery, which he did a phenomenal job on that because it was probably the greatest onside kick I've ever seen that wasn't recovered by the kicking team.
Right.
just a great job. Man, this defense though, they bullied Jared Goff. They bullied Jared Goff. Jared Goff was absolutely horrendous. 23 of 40, 313 yards, 1 touchdown, 3 picks. A receiver had a pick too.
I know. Who calls this play? Who calls that play right there? I mean, for real. Like is it just me or does Detroit have questionable play calls in the playoffs?
I think Dan Campbell, he doesn't know how to tone it back a little bit.
You get too cute. You
your team is you got the more talented team. Just beat them heads up. Go at them and beat them straight up.
Yep.
Like your running game was Gibbs had a awesome game. 14 carries, 105 yards, 2 scores. Williams had a 1 rush for 61 yards and a touchdown. Montgomery 7 for 28. Like you were running the ball. Why didn't you slow their offense down? Run the ball. And you put Jared Goff has been phenomenal this year. He's been great since he's came back. Since he's came to the Lions. But you know that Jared Goff has these type of games. I just don't think that especially when your running game is going so good. You put the ball in his hands like that and throw the ball as many times as they did. I don't know.
I don't know either.
You had 4 different players throw a pass for the Detroit Lions in this game. 4. That's insane stat right there. This NFC North, it was supposed to be this power division. They had teams with such great records in it. You had the Lions, you had Minnesota, you had Green Bay, and now they're all gone. They're all gone. What a disappointment. I don't know if this Lions team gets back to this spot next year. They're going to be missing some key coaches.
Yep.
At least one for sure.
Yep.
Which is a major part of their success. Is Jared Goff the answer there? Can he get you to that? I mean, Jared Goff has started to play a Super Bowl in this league. But are you good enough? Are you good enough to beat the elite teams in the NFL? I mean, Dan Campbell needs to do some inner investigations of himself, and you love Dan Campbell for his guts, for his I don't know, his moxie to go for it and pull a rabbit out of a hat. But at the same time, he's got to learn to tone it down just a little.
Yeah.
You can't treat every situation the same. And this is the second year that this team has been phenomenal in the regular season and laid an egg in the playoffs. So I'm sad to see the Lions go. They were one of them feel-good stories. You know, Detroit has never been to a Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
They're one of them teams you want to cheer for. Dan Campbell's one of them guys that you want to cheer for.
Mm-hmm.
They're an exciting team. But, man, these Commanders, they deserve everything they get. And, man, like you said, if Jane Daniels takes this team to one more victory, you might be looking at the greatest rookie quarterback of all time.
That'd be crazy. I mean, I've doubted a little bit. Obviously, we both doubted. We didn't think he was going to keep doing this. Like, you don't expect him to come out weak. But you know what? The one thing you do notice about him is whenever they put the camera on him, he doesn't look concerned. He doesn't look angry. He just in the game.
Calm, cool, collected.
And then at the end of the game, then all his happiness, excitement, all that comes out. Like it's amazing what he's doing. And he's 24 years old, and he's coming out here first year and playing like a veteran. Like, no lie, going out there, staying cool, and just doing some crazy stuff. And and then on the other side, you got Detroit giving 5 giveaways, and it's I don't know. I was worried that this could happen, but I didn't think it would. I'm like, come on, it's Detroit. It's Detroit. And then
Detroit at home.
Yeah, and then you had a fumble, and it's like interception, and it's I couldn't believe it. I really couldn't. I watched all the games this weekend, and I was just like, I was never let down. They were all good. They were all great games, but seeing Jaden Daniels have the kind of game that he had, and just the swagger that kid's got, man, I'm rooting for him. I hope. I don't know. I can't really say I hope he wins because I'm on Saquon train right now. But I don't even know who I'd pick on Friday. I don't know who I'm going to pick on that game. That's for sure.
What's crazy is that Jaden Daniels might already be a top 5 quarterback in the league.
Yeah,
he might already be there.
It's just hard to say with only not even a year complete. That's what's tough. Can he back it up? Can he?
I mean, he's backing it up now. And this Commanders team is only going to get better because they don't got to pay him $60 million a year.
Truth.
And players are going to want to come play for him. So, I mean, exciting. Congratulations to the Commanders. Man, I wish they were the Redskins still, but we won't get into that.
You know what? I hate the fact that two teams in my division are playing so well, and that just scares the shit out of me for years to come. I'm like, at least we're kind of in a rebuilding stage right now, so hopefully by the time we actually get where we need to be, they'll be kind of falling off because these Eagles and Washington, man, this is going to be a killer division if they keep it up the way they play.
Oh, so then let us into Sunday. We had the Rams visiting the Philadelphia Eagles. Man, we got some snow. We got some. This game was crazy.
Sure.
You know, he might not be the MVP, and he's probably not going to win it. Like we said, it's a quarterback award. But I'm going to go out and say that Saquon Barkley is the best player in the NFL right now.
Dude.
He is so dominant. So dominant. It's not if he's going to break a 40, 50, 60-yard run. It's when.
Exactly.
It's every week. It's every week, it seems. He's breaking 1-2 touchdowns. 150 to 200 yards a game, just dominating.
78-yard and a 62-yard rushing touchdown in one game. Like, one, before the snow had fallen on the ground, and then two, after the snow was covering the ground. It was insanity. Just insanity.
Well, not just that. Earlier this year when they played the Rams, he had 2 more rushing touchdowns over 60 yards.
Crazy.
So against the Rams this year, he had 4 rushing touchdowns, all over 60 yards. Absolutely phenomenal. Saquon Barkley's on a mission. He's beast moding. He's, man, 26 carries, 205 yards, 2 touchdowns. Another 4 catches for 27 yards.
Damn.
Just phenomenal.
Damn.
Absolutely amazing, dominant. If you don't slow this guy down, they're going to the Super Bowl.
Bam.
Jane Daniels been absolutely phenomenal, but if Washington does not slow down Saquon, they're in trouble.
Yeah, Jalen Hurts had a 44-yard rushing touchdown too. Man, they ran all over the Rams. That's for sure.
Yeah, all over. They ran all over the Rams. But the Rams kept it close. The Rams kept it close. The Rams had a chance to win it at the end. Kerryon Williams had a good rushing game too. Everybody was running the ball good. In that type of weather, it's definitely easier to be the runner where you know where you're going instead of trying to guess where someone's going. He had 19 carries, 106 yards, and a crucial fumble, though. The ball was knocked out. Ball gets wet, slippery. They caused the fumble. That was a major turning point in that game. Matthew Stafford had a good game, 26 of 44, 324 yards, 2 scores. He didn't really get Puka going till the end. 6 catches, 97 yards. Cooper Kupp had 5 for 61. Robinson, 3 for 74. Higbee, 7 for 54. Stafford had a good game. It's just hard in that weather, bro. Yeah. It's hard you're a throwing team. I believe if the weather wasn't as bad as it was, that the Rams would have probably beat them.
I don't know. That Eagles secondary played pretty good. I mean, they were right in there. They were like covering them receivers all game. So I don't know if it would have changed based on that, but
I think I 100% believe it would have. I mean, you only won by 6. You had that crucial fumble because of the weather. I just feel like if they're the better passing team, Jalen Hurts did something to his knee in this game. He got kind of pinned back. He wasn't the same after that. The Rams ended up getting a safety on him. Typically, he would have escaped that pressure. They avoided doing the tush push at one point.
Yep.
So hopefully he's all right next week. This was another great game though. Regardless, I love seeing those snowy games.
Oh
They're
yeah, for sure.
they're absolutely phenomenal. Like it just makes you feel. That's the one thing about all these stadiums having the artificial turf. I know it's better for the players' health and this and that, but I miss those rainy, muddy. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
it's not like people don't even really get grass stains anymore. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, for real.
so. I mean, snow's all that we have left. That's the only thing that shows up. But I
Right.
remember some wet, muddy, dirty games where
You can't even see the lines anymore because everything's just mush. Like
I miss
yeah,
those, man.
yeah, for
That
sure.
old school football, bro. Where there's no wash in the uniform that's going in the dump, baby.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. There ain't no bleach in the world gonna clean that motherfucker, man. Interesting thing, Saquon, 2,329 rushing yards, third most ever for regular postseason. He's 2 yards from second, which Terrell Davis holds first and second place. He did it in 97, 98, I believe.
Yeah.
And I mean, Saquon's only 127 away from taking over that first place spot. And if he anything like he's been the last 2 weeks, I mean, I think Saquon comes away with the most. He better take this one. He better take this one. If he sits down just shy, I'm gonna be kind of mad.
Well, it's interesting. I heard them say yesterday that the commentators say that he did want the record. That
Really?
he had to be talked out of it.
Interesting.
So I'm a little taken back by that. I'm a little surprised that they put him in that position that he wanted the record and you didn't allow him to go get it.
Right.
I'm not a big fan of their coach anyway. I don't
Yeah.
like him. I think he's a goofball and he's just been gifted with talented teams.
Yep.
But I don't think him is a overly great coach. You got a great defensive coordinator, Vic Fangio, and you've surrounded yourself with good good coordinators, but you yourself, I don't think that much of him.
Yeah.
And it kind of irritates me if they did do that to Saquon.
I mean, I'd love to be a fly on the wall and actually know the actual inside scoop on that, though.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't like sitting here and acting like I'm mad at Saquon or I'm mad at this person when it might not even be their fault. I get frustrated because I want to see this. I want to see him set records. Like I want to see the impossible sometimes. You know, it's nice to see that every once in a while.
Grizzard says, "Who? Mike Jones?
Who?
What's the phone number, Mike?"
I don't even know. I didn't like Mike Jones. Bro, they'd be walking through the hallway.
8004.
Some. I remember there's a 8004. Yeah, definitely.
I don't know if that's right.
That sounds right.
Back then they didn't want me. Now hot hoes all on me.
Yeah. Here's a goober.
And then that leads us to the Buffalo Bills and the Baltimore Ravens. Oof. This game was a huge disappointment to me, man.
Wow. Yeah, this is probably the biggest disappointing game for me. Ugh. It made me
Congratulations to the Buffalo Bills. Congratulations. You were gifted a game. You were gifted. Give me a break, bro.
I don't understand. Why did Baltimore go away from the run? Like, I don't.
Absolutely.
Why? I mean, they were moving the ball. They were making plays, and it opened up everything else for him. But then he just. It don't make no sense why these teams have a winning formula and then they go away from it in the biggest time of the year. I don't understand it.
It don't make no sense. It makes zero sense. Saquon, my fault.
Saquon.
Same on the last game. Derrick Henry, 5.2 yards an attempt.
Yeah.
Why did you stop giving him the ball?
Why?
Justice Hill, 8.3 yards attempt. Why did you stop running the ball? Lamar Jackson, 6.5 yards an attempt. Why did you stop running the ball? Why?
It doesn't make sense. That's the biggest question I was asking. I don't understand it. I was so disappointed watching this. I was like, these Buffalo Bills are going to win this fudging game, and then these Buffalo fans are going to be all Josh Allen, Josh Allen, Josh Allen. And of course, here it is. So
now Buffalo deserves some credit. Don't get me wrong.
Oh no, I'm not saying that. Just I didn't want to hear it. I thought the Ravens had this.
Lamar Jackson, he struggled a little bit in the first half. I would even say he struggled. They put pressure on him. He made a poor decision on the throw. He didn't see the safety. Interception. No harm, no foul. They didn't score on that. Then he had a fumble where sometimes you just got to go down.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just got to take your losses and go down. He didn't do that. He made a mistake. They get the ball. They score. Okay. Second half, this team came out. They went down, scored. Well, the first 3-and-out Buffalo. Then they scored. Then Buffalo had 5 plays, punted the ball, scored. The Ravens had all the momentum. They were down by, what were they down by? 3, maybe 4. But Lamar Jackson hits Mark Andrews on a deep pass over the 50-yard line around the 40, I think. Mark Andrews makes the catch. They get him around the leg. He tries to escape and make a move. Mark Andrews, where are you going? Where are you going? You ain't outrunning nobody.
Right.
So where are you going? Sit your ass down and let Lamar come get the ball and run another play.
Right.
No, Mark Andrews want to think Tyreek Hill want to outrun defenders or something. Here comes the Bills player stripping the ball.
Yep.
What are you doing, bro? What
Mm-mm.
are you doing? And then Buffalo drives down the field. This is the fourth quarter. Buffalo drives down the field. Baltimore's defense sticks them up. Right there, down there on the 2-yard line. Sticks them up. Buffalo has to settle for a field goal.
Yep.
Jacksonville down, or I keep saying Jacksonville, Jackson. The Baltimore Ravens are down by 8. Lamar Jackson got 3 minutes left, though.
Yep. Damn right.
Lamar Jackson drives you down the field.
88 yards.
Touchdown. Mark Andrews. Catch the damn ball. Drops the pass. Wide open. 2-point conversion. Loses the damn game. This is absolutely ridiculous. Mark Andrews has been a great player for this team for a long time. But, bro, there's no excuse for what you did. There's no excuse.
What you didn't do.
You know what you did.
It's what you didn't do. Hold the damn ball.
Why didn't you go down? You weren't outrunning anybody. What were you going to gain? Another 2 yards, maybe? Another 2 yards? Is that what you was going to get? Because you weren't running away from nobody. You weren't scoring. Catch the ball like you do and go down. They had your leg. They had you. Where were you going?
Just lay down, bro. Just lay down.
And then you have a chance to redeem yourself, bro. A chance to redeem yourself. And you drop a wide open 2-point conversion that could have took the game
into overtime. Granted, Josh Allen would have still had around 93 seconds, and that's a lot to give Josh Allen to get into field goal range. So
yeah, but this Ravens team it turned up the defensive. You know what I mean? They had turned it
Right,
up.
right. Yeah, I agree. It's just, man, this is the biggest game of the year, and you drop that 2-point conversion wide open. I could have made that catch.
After making such a costly play, you had a chance to redeem yourself.
Yeah,
you
well,
couldn't make the catch, bro.
It didn't go that way. I was like, man, game over right there. I'm like, oh yes, they got it. And oh wait, what?
Well, but again, why did this Ravens team go away from the run?
It shouldn't have been. It shouldn't even have been an issue. It should not.
I was so confused why Derrick Henry in the first half didn't have shit for yards, didn't have shit for carries.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what's going on? And it's not like they were. I mean, they had stuffed him a couple times initially, but every time he touched the ball after that, boom, 5 yards, boom, 7 yards. You know what I mean? Like, he was getting good amounts of yards on first down.
Wasn't it you that was talking about the Ravens? You got Derrick Henry. He's not getting enough runs. He only had a certain amount of attempts. Wasn't that a few weeks ago or when they lost? Yeah.
Yep.
Well, same thing. Why does Derrick Henry in the biggest game of the year have only 16 attempts? Only 16 attempts.
Again, he had 199 yards against the Bills earlier this year.
Yeah.
Why didn't you follow the blueprint from last game? It should have been Derrick Henry out the gate, boom, 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 boom. And yeah, the Ravens came out and scored a touchdown right away.
Mm-hmm.
Which, cool, you threw them off guard. They thought you were going to run. Then you should have hit them with the run after that. You go down, you score, and then hit them in the head with the run.
That's your bread and butter. You beat on these defenders all game. So in the fourth quarter, your 250-pound running back can run it all over these guys. But they didn't do that. They didn't. It's arguably the best.
You can't say for sure, but maybe those turnovers don't happen if you're running the ball. Maybe you're not throwing constantly.
Yep. They just got
in cold weather. There was snow flurries. It was snow flurries around. You know what I mean? In that cold of weather, you're out there trying to chuck the ball around. First off, Lamar Jackson isn't necessarily that quarterback. I mean, he ain't Pat Mahomes. You know what I mean? Like, let's not, as far as throwing the football.
Mm-hmm.
Why are we treating him like this? Why isn't there more options? Why isn't there more using his legs, using his athleticism? Why did they go away from that? I don't get it.
It doesn't.
It gives you an opportunity to run the clock off. I don't understand. I don't understand why they went away from that.
I don't know. It's like, are they thinking that if we go away from this, they're expecting this, so let's try this? Is it one of those type of deals? Because that's even stupid. Like, you guarantee Derrick Henry with 12 more carries, this game was probably going to end up different. You can't stop. You can't stop doing what you're good at. You can't stop what your team is. Your team is a rushing team. And then Lamar can still hit the deep ball when he has to. So it's for him to sit there and just be throwing as much as he did and Derrick Henry not touching that ball. It's disappointing because this is definitely not what I envisioned. I know it's not what you envisioned. We expected the Ravens to go out there and run all up and down the Buffalo Bills. And it just didn't happen. It just didn't happen. And that's because they didn't give themselves that opportunity.
Well, if you look at the stat line for the Buffalo Bills and you didn't know the score, you would think Buffalo lost. Except for the fact, congratulations to the Buffalo Bills. They did one thing right. They didn't make the mistake.
Yep.
They didn't turn the ball over.
Yep.
That's the one thing. What, Josh Allen have 127 yards passing, 20 yards rushing?
Yep.
So Josh Allen had 147 total yards and the Buffalo Bills beat you?
And I believe no winning team in the divisional playoffs had a turnover. No team that won.
Well, that just shows you how important it is to take care of the ball. That shows you how important it is to take care of the ball. Congratulations to the Buffalo Bills. You got to hear another week of these Buffalo Bills fans yapping. The better team didn't win yesterday, though. Let's
No,
not get it twisted.
no.
But Buffalo, I got to admit, Buffalo's in a great spot right now.
They are.
Yeah, they're ahead of Kansas City. They beat Kansas City earlier this year. I'm not trying to hear all that. Like we said, we've seen this story before.
Mm-hmm.
Typically, you beat Kansas City in the regular season. You do. It's the postseason. But for some reason, I do feel like this postseason is different. I feel like the Buffalo Bills are a better team than Kansas City Chiefs are right now.
Yep. I'd have to agree.
But the pressure's on you, Buffalo.
Yep.
Because you do got the better team right now. But what happens if you can't do it?
I think this is the best opportunity Josh is going to have. I think this is his opportunity.
By far. If you don't do it, if you don't pull off the victory when you're supposed to here,
mm-hmm.
what's that mean for you guys?
I don't know.
If you don't pull this one out, the pressure's on the Buffalo Bills.
For sure.
Believe it. They know the history. They know what they got to do. They know that the Chiefs beat them in the playoffs. If you can't beat this Chiefs team, you might as well pack it up every time you see them.
Exactly.
If the Chiefs make the playoffs, you might as well just fold. Because if you can't beat this Chiefs team with the team that you got right now, it's a wrap for you guys.
Against this Chiefs team who has literally been close in damn near every single game they've played in this year. They've had lucky wins. They've had wins by field goals, wins by touchdowns. It's just, I think this is their best opportunity. I think Kansas City is the most vulnerable they have ever been, but they're still a great team. So if you don't come in and play your game, I don't know, man. I'd be very, very disappointed in Josh Allen if he doesn't get this victory. I know I would.
Yeah, they should win this game.
They should. I agree.
But will they?
That's what's going to be fun, man.
What's the narrative about Josh Allen if he can't pull this off?
He's a great quarterback, but can't win in the most important.
Is he great though? If you can't win this game, are you great?
So he's a super good quarterback.
Team? I mean, I don't know. I think they got a great chance to go and change their history, bring a title to Buffalo. I mean, Josh Allen is the most dynamic player left in the play. Well, I mean, Josh Allen's the most dynamic player left in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. They should win this game, and I mean, I would think that Buffalo would be favored against the Commanders or the Eagles, either or. So we shall see. Another great weekend of football coming up. Exciting. We're definitely going to have a playoff matchup that I wasn't really envisioning. Who would you like to see go
to the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
It sucks because I don't want to pick an NFC East team because I'm obviously a Giants fan in the NFC East.
You don't have a choice now.
I know. So now I'm kind of screwed. I wouldn't mind seeing Buffalo for the AFC. And I don't know, man. It really is going to come down to if Jaden Daniels can keep it going, because I think if he keeps playing the way he is, a Super Bowl with Josh Allen and the first ever rookie quarterback in the Super Bowl, I think it could be pretty interesting. But I feel like I want to root for Saquon and the Eagles more just because of Saquon's year. And I think it would be a nice kick to us Giants organization for getting rid of his ass. You know, for every action, there should be a reaction. And you know, sometimes the hardest thing is the worst thing, and it's releasing a guy like Saquon and then having him go and get a Super Bowl and I'm telling you, if they win the Super Bowl, he will be the Super Bowl MVP. No doubt in my mind. No doubt. So
Saquon?
yes.
That's if Jalen Hurts don't steal all his rushing touchdowns.
And I think he'll have something to say about that. He's like, I might not have got MVP, but I got Super Bowl MVP. We'll see.
We shall see. Another we got an NFC matchup and then NFC East matchup, and then we got a matchup division rivals, heated division rivals. It comes down to the Buffalo Bills and the Kansas City Chiefs one more time. Da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da. In other news, go ahead, hit him with the coaching news, brother.
I don't have no coaching news.
I mean, the Chicago Bears got a new coach.
Oh, that news. This thing I made a whole banner and it's already finalized. Bears finalized contract for Lions offensive coordinator Ben Johnson for head coach. What does that mean, man? What do you think that's going to mean for Detroit next year? You think that's going to drop them down a little bit?
I think that's going to be it depends who they hire to take his place. I mean, Ben Johnson's going to pluck his own people, you know what I mean? So if Ben Johnson's got players over there that are under him that, you know, can come over and get a promotion with him, or I mean, Detroit's offense is what carried them this year. So losing your play caller, that's a big deal. I mean, that hurts. It's still not 100% if they're losing their defensive coordinator too.
Right.
So this Lions got a lot of questions and answers. We should know more in the next couple days now that their season's over. But yeah, I mean, I think this is definitely a hit to the Detroit Lions, and I think it's a nice pickup for the Chicago Bears.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You get a beast offensive coach in there that work with your young quarterback.
The mind responsible for that little stumble fumble fake play.
Yeah, I mean, you get him. You give Caleb Williams the opportunity to grow under Johnson, and I think he found this team attractive because they have a lot of weapons. They got the building blocks to become a successful franchise like this. I mean, the Bears lost a lot of close games this year. They lost a bunch of games that the coach made errors.
Yep.
So this team could be definitely competing for a playoff spot next year. Maybe, if Detroit takes a step back, Minnesota's got a lot of questions to answer. This NFC North is going to be a hell of a division again next year.
Yeah, that's exciting. I mean, the Bears could be a totally not so much different, just a better coach team and have more consistency, and to see what Caleb Williams can actually do with a decent coach in there and a team that's managed by a competent person. So I'm excited for him. Definitely excited to see how this Bears team shows out next year.
Yeah.
I'm
just tired of, I'm sick. It makes me sick seeing some of this stuff that happens. Like Jane Daniels. Like when we had a top pick in the draft, why couldn't our quarterback be Jane Daniels? You know what I mean? Like in the draft that we took Tua, we took the number 2 quarterback in the draft. It went Joe Burrow, Tua, Justin Herbert. Like, why couldn't our second quarterback be the Jane Daniels?
Hey,
why couldn't we got the next great rookie quarterback?
Yeah. I try not to dwell on that stuff though. I mean, see, it's different for me though. I'm a Giants fan. We've drafted really good players with a lot of potential, like OBJ and Saquon Barkley, and we had Xavier McKinney. We get these good players, and we don't do nothing with the talent that we have. They'll make nice flashy plays here and there, but the New York Football Giants have not put together a good, solid team. So we allow all these good players to come in here, and we don't use them, and we don't sit there, and it's the coaching staff, obviously, and our organization sucks. So I'm in a totally different spot when I think about that, because the Giants, I just feel like we could have the best pick for 3 years straight, and I still feel like we'd screw it up. Giants knew they.
It's just so frustrating. Me, a Miami Dolphins fan, I'm so tired of the lack of intelligence when it comes to building a team.
Yeah.
I mean, any person with common sense knows that you need to build your trenches. If you don't build your trenches, you're going to struggle. Yep. If you don't have a decent offensive line, you're not going to have time to throw the ball. If you don't have a decent offensive line, you're not going to be able to run the ball. How are you supposed to be the number one offensive football like we were 2 years ago when you don't have time to do nothing?
Right.
You got an injury-prone quarterback, which our offensive line's bad for, can't protect them. It's just, you would think as a person that gets paid millions and millions of dollars in a profession where you're supposed to know football, that you would have to build an offensive line. It's clear as day that everybody else that you need to build an offensive line, yet you still don't build an offensive line.
And these offensive linemen should be hanging out and getting to know each other, and they should be all on the same page. That's what the biggest thing is, man. You have to have a chemistry. You can't.
Yeah, but this is a lack of talent. These guys, I don't even think that, like Eichenberg, I believe Eichenberg tries his damnedest. You know what I mean?
Right.
I just don't think he's talented enough.
Right.
He's not good enough. Robert Jones isn't a talented enough left guard to be a starter in the NFL.
Hey, Robert Jones is my father.
Yeah, he is. Well, I double down on that. Robert Jones is not talented enough to be a left guard in the NFL. But yeah, I mean, it drives me crazy. Hopefully we can, we don't have a lot of cap room. Hopefully they can make some major moves. And like I said, the salary cap's not a real thing. There's ways to work around it. Are you going to be in salary cap hell down the road? Yeah.
Yep.
By that time, you're a bad team anyway. So you might have a high salary cap and you only win 2 games, but you get back to even by the time you're ready to rebuild. You know what I mean?
Yep. You get you a nice pick.
But the studio should be done Wednesday. I'm going to start busting out the Miami Dolphins content. You guys be prepared tomorrow, doing a show with TD Fins Talk. So keep an eye out on that. The AFC Roundtable, Miami Dolphins edition. So make sure you keep an eye out for that.
Do you got a time for that, sir?
I don't. Probably 7, 8. I'm guessing he hasn't let me know yet.
Maybe you should put out a short before you go on, saying, "Hey, Fin Posse Podcast, I'll be on this at this time."
Yeah.
But
get ready, the content's coming, baby. We're gonna break down who's coming, who's going, who we should draft, who we should not draft, how much money we might have, and
just have fun with it.
If we can possibly not have a season like we had this year. Let's take a look at this mock draft before we leave.
Oh, you got one?
Yeah, that's the draft order.
Bring it up. Bring it up, Big C.
Now, mock drafts are like assholes.
Everybody's got one.
Everybody's got a couple. You don't got more than one?
Oh, yeah. Right now I do.
So this is Walter Football. So this one's got The Tennessee Titans take a Shador.
Mm.
Shador.
Yeah.
Let's see. This is WalterFootball.com. Cleveland Browns, Cam Ward. That means your New York Giants are missing out. Cam Ward is the next dual threat quarterback.
Hey, I'm okay with that. I'm actually okay with Travis Hunter.
The Giants foolishly won their way out of a quarterback. But perhaps that just means they'll tank for Arch Manning.
And we'll have Travis Hunter and Malik
As
Neighbors.
seen in my 2026 mock draft. I bet you that's what the Giants are going to do.
I think so too. I hope so.
New England Patriots and a playmaker, the wide receiver from Arizona. Will Johnson, the top corner in this draft for the Jaguars. Campbell, offensive tackle for the Raiders. I think he's more suited to be a guard, honestly. New York Jets taking an outside linebacker, make that defense even better. Our Reddick has had issues, so the Jets may decide to add another pass rusher in case Reddick doesn't come back. Carolina going defense. New Orleans taking a corner from Notre Dame. The Bears taking defensive tackle from Michigan. Although this was made before they drafted or signed Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson might want to
go a different direction.
Might want to add something to the offensive side of the field, you know. 49ers taking an offensive tackle, looking for a successor for Trent Williams.
Mm-hmm.
Jetty, this kid was a beast running back for the Boise State team. He has impressive speed and athleticism. He had a record-breaking year for them. Miami Dolphins taking an offensive tackle or guard. Kelvin Banks. I also see him. He did play offensive tackle, but I do see him more of a guard. The Dolphins have had major line issues. Duh. They can't rely on Teron Armstead, who's probably retiring. And that's the least of their problems. Kelvin Banks is a terrific pass protector. So at least so far they got them addressing the offensive line in this mock draft. You're happy with the Travis Hunter pick for the Giants?
Yeah, I mean, I was really excited about Cam, but then I got excited for Shador. It's just one of those things where you just never really know what you're going to get regardless. But one thing I do know is Travis Hunter can play two positions at a high level. And I just, right now that kind of like I said, that leaves us open to try to build a little bit more, get our stuff set up, and then make a play for Archie Manning. I'm cool with that. Like I'm all for Mannings, man. The last Manning we had got us 2 Super Bowls, so I will never deny that. And then the Manning brains, the Manning thought processes, their football knowledge is just absolutely incredible. So I think that's a better risk to take than on 2 quarterbacks that are available this year. So
yeah. All right, folks, make sure to check me out tomorrow on the AFC East Roundtable with TD Fins Talk, doing a Miami Dolphins Roundtable. We'll be back Wednesday for another episode of the Blitz. And I'll probably have some content out on the Fins Posse podcast Wednesday morning. Starting out Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Check the Fins Posse podcast morning time. We're going to be doing a lot of info, a lot of content. Get with me, get at me, join the fun. Let me hear what you think. Let me hear the choices and changes you'd like to see happen with the Miami Dolphins. So until next time, Mike, any closing words?
Yeah, man. Thanks for kicking it with us on the Blitz. I appreciate everybody for stopping by. Remember, as always, link is always in the chat. So next time, stop by, say hi, like, share, subscribe, comment, and we will be probably doing a joint watch party this weekend for one of the games at least. We will let you know.
Championship Sunday, baby.
We will let you know about that game, and we'll talk. We got a couple more days to talk about that. But other than that, hey, man, we had some good football. I'm not disappointed. A lot of shock, but not disappointed. Some good football is being played. So I can't wait. I'm excited.
Yeah. Check us
Yeah.
out. You know what it is. Fins up all the way. We'll see you Wednesday. Stop in tomorrow. See me with TD. Until next time. Peace.
Go Giants.
Fins